passengers, we have landed at Tokyo International Airport. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Take care of opening the...
After some days relaxing in Okinawa, our next stop was Tokyo. I need to make a pause here because I am cheating a little bit. This wasn't actually our first day in Tokyo. We flew from Germany directly to Tokyo and spent a day there before going to Osaka and Okinawa. So that was actually the first day of our trip and the first day in Tokyo. So to tell you everything we visited there, I'm gonna start there and then come back to this day when we flew from Okinawa to Tokyo. So flashback to the first day of our trip. When we landed in Tokyo 1 year later, very happy to be there but really exhausted because the flight was very long and we couldn't sleep at all. We are back in Japan, we are in Tokyo, in Asakusa, as you can see, and now we're gonna go explore a little bit, have something to eat, but first we're gonna have a coffee.
그런 말 하지마 내게도 쉬운 일은 아냐 빠듯한 현실의 무게가 버겁고 낯설어 마지막 나의 배려가 어쩐지 상처만 주는 것 같아 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까
Normally we try to go to Sensoji very early in the morning to avoid rush hour, but this time due to our flight, we couldn't go earlier. And even though it was really crowded, we really liked it. We enjoyed a lot the atmosphere at the market and at the temple. After that it was already time for lunch, but we weren't really hungry because of jet lag, so we decided to go for a walk around Asakusa and then later grab a late lunch, and hopefully later the restaurants wouldn't be so crowded and we would get a table at a restaurant that I had seen on Instagram and really wanted to go to. But of course, Murphy's Law, that didn't happen, and when we went back to the restaurant we wanted to go, it was the only one in the street that had a line of people waiting. So our plan B was to go to Kura Sushi, and I didn't really think that we were gonna get a table there because I had tried to go several times while I was living in Tokyo and never managed to get a table. There was always a 2-hour waiting period, but we were lucky and there wasn't anyone, so we got a table right away. If you don't know Kura Sushi, this is a chain of sushi restaurants in Japan, and they are pretty popular because they have very affordable sushi and the quality is good, so it's a very good place to go try sushi for the first time because you can order a lot of different fishes and figure out what you like and what you don't. And after lunch, we went to Akihabara. Ya son las 7 de la tarde más o menos, llevamos un rato descansando en el hotel y ahora hemos ido a la terraza a ver las vistas y vamos a ir al Sensoji a hacer unas fotos porque lo iluminan por la noche y a cenar algo. Vamos a intentar ir al restaurante al que fuimos a mediodía, que no pudimos entrar, y a ver si ahora tenemos suerte y si no, pues algo habrá que buscar. At dinner time we weren't hungry either, so we decided to follow the same strategy as for lunch and go for a late dinner, and hopefully that way the restaurant that we wanted to try at lunch would have a table for us. So in the meantime we decided to go to Sensoji. After the walk, we tried to get a table in the tonkatsu restaurant, but there were too many people waiting, so we had to find another place. And luckily, we had a very long list of restaurants in Asakusa, so we finally found a table at this one. And after dinner, since we had to wake up pretty early the following day to fly to Osaka, we went straight to bed. And unfortunately, I couldn't sleep at all because of jet lag. And the following morning we woke up very early because we had to go to the airport to fly to Osaka, but you've seen that already in the Osaka and Okinawa vlogs. And coming back to the, so to say, present of this vlog, after 3 days in Osaka and 4 in Okinawa, we were back in Tokyo. Our flight was delayed, so we arrived later than expected. So we went straight to the hotel, checked in, left our luggage, and then went to Roppongi to grab a bite at my favorite cafe and later catch sunset at Mori Tower. When we arrived to Mori Tower to see sunset, they told us that the sky deck was closed because of the weather, so our plan B was to go to a rooftop bar to see sunset from there, and since it was a little bit late, we had to literally run to Norman Hills. We were again a little bit late for dinner, but very close to our hotel in Ginza. It's one of our favorite restaurants that opens till late, so we went there. And for our second day in Tokyo, I wanted to start the day going to Nakameguro, which is a neighborhood that Alex had never been to because it's not that touristy, and I had discovered it the year before after he left because I moved to a place nearby.
Oh, stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all back now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was.
During breakfast, we checked the weather forecast for Mount Fuji because it was our next stop and we needed to decide if we were gonna go or not. The weather forecast wasn't the best. It was changing all the time and saying that it was gonna rain pretty heavily, so we didn't know if it was worth it to go or it was better to stay in Tokyo. But no risks, no gain, and we finally decided to give it a try and go. After breakfast, we headed for Shibuya and we walked through my old neighborhood, so we stopped so that I could show Alex a little bit around. After Meiji, we went to Takeshita Street, and from there we went to Omotesando. I wanted to grab lunch in a restaurant in Omotesando, but this restaurant doesn't accept reservations, and it was Saturday, so as you can imagine, when we arrived there was a very long line. Luckily for us, there are many places in Omotesando, and we could find a place to grab lunch very quickly. And after lunch, we stayed in Omote to go shopping. because Alex was training for a marathon at the time and he needed new running shoes. They didn't have his size in Harajuku, so we came to Miyashita Street and let's see if they have it here. And if you like running and are going to Japan, there are 2 things that you should learn from this vlog. First one is to bring your suitcase with some empty room to buy new shoes there, because they are much cheaper in Japan than in Europe. And the second one is to follow Alex on Instagram. And after shopping, the next stop was Odaiba for sunset. And yes, you've guessed it, we were late again, so we had to run. And last but not least, we were headed for Shinjuku to go have dinner at our favorite udon restaurant. And a friend had already told me that they changed the booking system since we were last there, and now instead of just lining up, you had to register at a machine and do kind of a online queue. So we registered and we were hoping that the waiting time would be like half an hour, but it was more than 2.5 hours. So instead of just going there, registering, going for a walk to Shinjuku and coming back, we have time to do much more. We have time to take a train, take a metro, stop to buy some snacks, get back to the hotel, watch a video, think if it was worth it to go back. Having Alex convince me that it was, taking a train again, a metro again, thinking that I should have stayed at the hotel, take another metro, get in there, wait in a line for some minutes, and finally get a table. Was it worth it? Yes, because I really like this udon, but I wish they had a different system. And well, this was all for today's video. We still had a couple of days left in Tokyo, but I will tell you about that in the next video. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one in Tokyo. Bye!